All right, and we're live here with Masterclass, SampleServe Masterclass Wednesdays. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for taking the time for joining us today. These usually only take about 20 minutes. We like to cover updates with the app today. It's a very special one. I got with us Paul Goodrow of the Norrin Partners here, and Russell Schindler, CEO of SampleServe. I'm Joshua Paul. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure you throw it in the chat. We'll get to it throughout the course of this webinar and even after this. You can make sure you just throw a chat comment in there even after this is over with, and we'll get to it as well. And if you think you know somebody that this will help as well, give them a share of this link. And these links are live even after this is over too. So, Paul, give us a little rundown of what's going on today.
All right. Well, thanks, Josh. You know, every Wednesday we like to get together with our user groups, you included, or potential users, future users, and really share with the teams out there who are using our technology, really tips and tricks of how to use our software solution more effectively, more efficiently. Today is a little bit different. As Josh said, we're going to really share with you an updated version of our sample ENV, which we're excited about. And, you know, I think through this, you know, I've been in the environmental consulting engineering market forever, in the environmental services market. And there are a couple of unique things in this market that really drive software companies, software solution providers like SampleServe to really stay on top of agile and actually, you know, be aware of what the business cases are and how to solve those. You know, two things is, surprisingly, there isn't a lot of standardization in the industry. I mean, we run into it all the time, laboratories, consultants, regulators, state to state. There's all different ways to approach, you know, what we do, sampling, you know, environmental media. And so the fact that there isn't a lot of standardization really makes it difficult for us to really build a single solution. Secondly, you know, everybody's moving towards digital transformation, which means, you know, how do I get more efficient, more effective? And companies, consultants, laboratories, et cetera, have their own workflows. And so sometimes they're very unique, sometimes they're very standard, but more so more unique. And so the bottom line for us is that we have to remain agile. And what you'll be seeing here today is a result of working closely with a few of our customers to really develop a fit for purpose solution for them. And it meets and addresses multiple business cases which are out there. So we want to invite you as users or as companies or institutions to really work with us to help us learn about what your needs are. And we will for sure develop a fit for purpose solution for you. So thanks to our customers for bringing us these ideas. And I think they're a great enhancement, and we're eager to share them with you. Back to you, Josh.
Yeah. You know, thinking back about 2 years ago, you know, the place that we had the app, it was still robust, but the improvements that we've made along just these last 2 years is almost night and day. The options that you have nowadays are pretty much covers almost every situation. I think, you know, not every single situation, but Russell, what do you think? Almost every situation that you can think of going on in the field and planning an event now.
Well, I don't know that I would say that, because every time I think we've got it perfect, somebody else has another idea that makes it even better. So,
right.
So it's constantly improving. There's always this scenario that we haven't thought of, but we're trying to accommodate all those, but at the same time keeping it simple, so it's not, you know, super complex to set up your projects or anything like that. So I think one of the things we have done is made it more user friendly and giving you more options in terms of being able to kind of sort and see your data. You know, we've got one client who's, you know, they're uploading 7,000 projects into our system. And so we had to figure out a way, and, you know, like an individual field technician's not going to, you know, want to sort through 7,000 projects to see where they're at. So we created this short list function, which I think you're going to talk about here. So that's, you know, that kind of stuff where, you know, when we first built this, we weren't imagining somebody uploading 7,000 projects. So,
right.
You know, so we had to create ways to view things and make it simpler.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand you the screen over, Russell. Give us a little, show us around about some of the new stuff that we added to planning new projects?
Sure. So the one thing I'm really going to talk about is when you want to create a new event, you're going to hit this add a new event here. And this is just an example project. And you can create the event. But the key thing is you can actually give it a name, right? You can give it like first quarter, fall event, whatever you want to call it. And so that's on there. And then if you want to copy that event, let's say you've got 4 quarters, but you have an annual event where it's maybe expanded protocols, you'll be able to just copy that annual event over and over again next year and the years after. So you're just going to create that event. So here I have one, I've named it first quarter. Yeah, and you can actually rename it. So I'm in this event. I can actually change the name if I want. I can copy it over. I can set my target date. And then the other thing is, as I mentioned about the short list, I can invite specific users to say that this is the project you're going to sample. So if I want to add somebody, I can then select from a pull down list here. And you had actually created this project, Josh, and you invited yourself. So it's just real simple, and all you gotta do is hit the save button. Another thing that we did was we created more form functionality. A lot of people are using our app to do other things other than just collect samples. They want to do a well inspection while they're out there, or maybe they want to check a remediation system. So we created the ability to create forms, and you can do a well condition inspection form. Here's an example of one. I think you're going to show it on the app here. It's got different pull down lists. You can create, lists, so that you're not having to type and everything in. You can just select from a short list or even a longer list. Take photographs with the custom form. So it's just a better form functionality. So that you can do other things that are commonly associated with sampling, like well inspections and remediation system checks, that type of thing. You can also create the form for the entire project. So if you wanted to do a tailgate safety meeting, you can have an event form, which is not specific to a sample location. You can do the morning tailgate safety meeting checklist. We create the form, go through the questions. And also like a checklist. Like one of the things when I was sampling is I would always have a checklist before I left the office, so I made sure I had all the equipment that I would need. And I would complete that checklist, because sure enough, if I didn't complete the checklist, I would always forget something and be out in the field without my equipment. So all kinds of form functionality that the project manager can create, which makes the field tech's job more complete and more automated.
I like it.
Russell, one of the key, sorry, Josh, one of the key differentiators here, I think, Russell, is that the user creates their form.
Yeah.
And, when I go back to standardization, one of our clients that we've talked to works with multiple consultants, and they had a library of some 150 forms. And that was because no one used the same form.
Yeah.
And so think about creating, and every time this client of ours needed a new form, they had to go to the software provider to make the form. Well, in this case, the user makes the form, and you can have as many as you want, as simple or as complicated as you want.
And
so this is a little bit different approach than some of our competitors.
Yeah, and once you create that form, it's available for your other projects as well. So it's not just specific to that project. You can actually create 150 forms if you want to, and then you just select the forms, and you can have multiple forms for your particular sampling event. So
that way you don't got to recreate the form every time you make it.
We're actually working on, we don't have this live yet, but we're working on having a library, Paul, similar to what you're talking about, that you can pull from, but then you're able to customize it yourself as well.
Right. So let's give a little example of what it looks like when we pull up the form here on the app. So Russell, you updated some stuff in the app there, right? You hit save.
Yep.
So I'm going to refresh my events. Now what we added to the field app here is we got these 3 tabs up top. Now you got all, assigned, and downloaded. So that, let's say if you have a real large you're connected to an account that has about 300, 7,000 projects on there. You know, and you're added on that account, you're going to have 7,000 under the all tab. Now, when you're out in the field and you're trying to find the project that you're going to be working on that day, you're not going to want to sort through, you know, all those projects. So we have an assigned tab here so that, you know, all the projects that you're specifically assigned to, let's say, you know, there's a field tech that's been doing you know, sampling event at one specific location for the last, you know, year and a half. You're going to make sure that you want that specific guy back there because he knows how to do that. He knows where everything's at. It's going to be real easy for him. So I'm going to refresh this real quick because you want to make sure if there's any changes on the project management tool, you want to hit the refresh button on the app so that, you know, all your stuff is updated here as well. So we're going to go into one of these sample locations here. We're going to hit start sampling. We're going to go over to condition inspection form. So here's the form that you set up.
Yep, that's the one I just showed you.
Here's the form that you set up and added on there. So this is going to be the first thing that you do is fill out this form. Now we can add multiple choice on here. We can add a number input, a text input. You can take a picture. We even added.
If you click on well type, it'll pull down like PVC or flush mounted stick up, right? So those are really the only options.
Yeah. And that's nice because it makes it so that, you know, there's no mistakes, there's no inaccuracies, there's no typos in those drop downs. Make it so
saves time as well. So
yeah, saves time as well. And the take a picture is really nice because, you know, you don't want, if you're especially doing like a well inspection, you want to like at least get a good visual of what's wrong with it. You know, maybe you can get better context than what just text can provide. Yeah. And we also added a signature to this form so that, you know, because there are several instances where, you know, you're going to want to make sure that this is validated by this person right here filled out that form as well.
Yeah, I didn't put the signature on this example, but
yeah, it's fine.
But if you do have we have a client who's got to have a form with a signature on it, so we made it so that they can create that form. The user in the field can sign the thing, and then when it gets sent out as a PDF, they've got the signature on there. Captured.
Right. So. And the nice thing is that we can also set up exporting these form details to enterprise level databases as well, right, Russell?
Yep, exactly. We already export to some common databases out there. So,
Josh, we got to keep going, man. You're slowing us down.
Hey, it's good stuff, Paul.
I know. There's a lot of information in this one, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's good. No, I just wanted to cover the form updates. I think some of this stuff is really going to help a lot of people in the field because one of the biggest questions that we get asked is, you know, like we already use a form builder in the field. Will yours be able to match what we're already using? And I think ours will match and surpass nowadays what any other form builder is out there. So we surpass form builders, and then we also help you with everything else that's pretty much down to sampling events.
It's all in one place, so it makes it real simple.
Yeah, it's all in one place. And the nice thing is that all of this has been coming around from what we've experienced our users having to deal with in the field. So, Paul, talk about how we facilitate what people's actual needs are in the field by listening to them.
Yeah. I mean, like I said in the beginning, you know, this industry isn't standard. Consultants, regulators, labs all have different work processes, workflows. We wish it was more standard, right? It would make our job a lot easier. But, you know, we get direct client feedback. We do that through discovery meetings with current clients. We get questions asked of us when we do demos, so we know what the business cases are out there. And the bottom line is we want this to be super simple for someone in the field to use and someone in the office to use from a data management standpoint. So we really encourage our users, our clients to partner with us to really develop solutions that are unique to them. And I think this year, Russell, we had maybe a dozen engagements with customers that were already using our software and engaged us in developing and enhancing it for their business case. So that's what we do.
So we try to do, and not everyone wants to do it. Not all the clients are up for it, but we try and set up we call it a customer discovery meeting, minimum like once a month, And it's just a real short meeting. We like the first question I usually ask is like, any problems, any bugs, any crashes that you've experienced over the last month? And then, hopefully most of the time they say, no, there's no problems. Not always the case, but most of the time. And then the next thing we ask them is like, got any ideas, got any features, any things that we could do to make your job easier? And of course, then they usually have tons of those. So, and we note them. We take a note on every one of them. I write them down and we make note of them. Sometimes they're duplicates, right? So, but we that's how we build this software. It's really an accumulation of everyone else's ideas kind of all rolled into one.
And we set these up through partnerships. Oftentimes, software companies, they don't see their clients as partners. They see them as just clients. And we like to take a different approach where we're in the same field. Paul and Russell have both been, in the field sampling. They've set up projects. They've managed teams. So we understand the needs to begin with. And so we'd like to partner with companies like Antia, Eurofins, and Situ to talk about, what are your needs and what do you expect from a centralized hub like SampleServe, and what would you like to see out of it? Now you can become a SampleServe partner easily by going on the website SampleServe.com, clicking on the partnership tab at the top, and asking to be a partner. And we can set up a process where we'll meet every other week, once a month, once a quarter, and we can talk about what your needs are in the field, and we can facilitate that.
Yep.
So it's pretty easy. And we talk about Sample ENV today. Sample Log is the sister app of Sample ENV. It is the laboratory application, something like what Eurofins would use. And Sample H2O is also our drinking water platform. So we have more apps than just what we talked about today. And Sample SWR is also for wastewater sampling as well. So I think we're going to end it there. Paul, you got anything to add?
Well, I always do, Josh.
I know, that's why I ask.
Thank you. No, I think this is an exciting time for us and an exciting time for the industry. I feel like there's a tipping point in the industry that is really driving companies to use more digital solutions. I mean, that's been ongoing. But at a certain point, I think the industry has to realize that there's better, faster, cheaper ways of executing their work and billing for value. Not just time and materials. And so we're lucky to be in that market. We really like the partnership model. We believe that we have a complete solution or parts that can help everybody in the market. So please join us. We're always updating, and these are some pretty exciting updates for us. So we want to share them with you all.
Hey, Russell, we forgot to mention, how much does it cost for a firm to start using these planning tools and this field app?
Well, it costs nothing. It's the project management tool is free to use. It's free forever. The mobile field app is free forever. And we do charge if you want to do the reporting, create the graphics behind us. But compared to what you're probably paying to get your own generated, it's going to be a significant value.
Perfect. All right. I think we're going to end it right on time there today. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be covering some new stuff too. So, Paul, Russell, signing off.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.